Good morning, Ospreys, and welcome back to Nest News.
I'm Chris Jennings.
And I'm Shafalika Bhatnagar.
And today on Nest News, we'll be talking about the latest on President Trump and former UNF Dean Mark Tumio.
And also, a questionable survey has caught the attention of the university.
You guys don't want to miss this.
Nest News starts right now.
All right, guys, so now for this update. Late yesterday, Spinnaker was informed that a Duval County judge ruled that former UNF Dean Mark Tumio would not be allowed to return to UNF.
On October 2nd of last year, Tumio was discovered engaging in a sex act with another male on campus. A day later, Tumio resigned as the dean of the College of Computing, Engineering, and Construction.
Tumio later filed a lawsuit against the UNF Board of Trustees, claiming that he was coerced to resign, and thus invalidating the legitimacy of this resignation.
Yesterday, the lawsuit was denied and Tumio's resignation was deemed legitimate. On Tuesday, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and members of the Democratic Party launched a formal impeachment inquiry on the President of the United States, Donald Trump.
This all comes on the back end of Trump's meeting with world leaders in late July at the United Nations, and most notably with Ukraine's president. Trump spoke on the phone with the president and suggested that he work with Attorney General William Barr to investigate Democratic presidential candidate and former Vice President Joe Biden and his son Hunter Biden for corruption in Ukraine.
Yesterday, the 9-page document containing more intensive details surrounding Trump's phone call with the Ukrainian president was released. And this invites more conversation into what really is going on in the White House at the time of the call.
Trump has been very adamant that this is all political and that the Democrats are trying to destroy the Republican Party and what it stands for. More updates from this story will likely be coming soon from UNF Spinnaker and our national sources.
While much talk may be going around Washington these days, let's dive into an event that recently took place on our campus. The event was called the Mind, Body, and Spirit Fair, and students were given the ability to learn Tai Chi, professional massages, and even participate in art therapy. Here is Spinnaker's own Caitlin Bowers with more on the event.
Today is the first day of fall, and UNF is starting it right with the Mind, Body, and Spirit Fair here at the Green.
So today we are out at the Mind, Body, Spirit Fair, which is a part of Fresh Week through Recreation and Wellness. And at this fair, we're having different stations with different activities that center on the mind, the body, and the spirit.
Students had the opportunity to learn Tai Chi, get a massage from a professional, and do some art therapy. The Spinnaker got a chance to talk to local art therapist Sarah Beeman, who helped explain the benefits of art therapy.
Therapy, it can be used in a lot of different ways, but today we're just focusing on kind of self-care and the act of actually making the mandala and focusing on the intricate patterns, and it kind of takes you out of your mind and kind of helps you forget about maybe what's bothering you or what you might be anxious about, and just kind of helps you relax.
This fair is all thanks to the Department of Recreation and Wellness and is being co-sponsored by the Interfaith Center of UNF. This week, students have the opportunity to learn CPR, camp on campus, and attend a 90s themed party. This is Caitlin Bowers with Spinnaker News.
Even though the events for Fresh Week have finished, the lasting impact and future looks bright for the Ospreys involved with the week-long activities.
Also on campus, the University of North Florida has received the Higher Education Excellence and Diversity Award. The organization Insight into Diversity paid tribute to UNF's level of achievement through broadening diversity and inclusion through campus initiatives. It is UNF's 4th time receiving this award and has earned the title of a diversity champion for the 3rd time. UNF makes many deliberate attempts to promote inclusion, such as the creation and utilization of the Interfaith Center, the Department of Diversity, and many others. Only a few colleges in the nation are recognized as diversity champions, and UNF is very proud of this honor.
On Tuesday, a recent questionnaire for incoming pledges at Chi Phi fraternity on our campus was released to Spinnaker.
Coming from an anonymous source, the questionnaire included questions ranging from describe yourself in 3 words to how many 5th graders could you confidently beat up.
In a statement, UNF said the Office of Fraternity and Sorority Life at the University of North Florida has been made aware of the questionnaire issued by Chi Phi Fraternity and has addressed the matter to both local, chapters, and national fraternities.
UNF also said they do not condone this inappropriateness of the questionnaire and have high expectations of our fraternity and sorority community members.
Make sure to check unfspinnaker.com for more on this story in the future. Coming up after the break, we have a fresh spin on Mario Kart.
And also the debut of a spin-off of a popular show.
So stick around.
9, 8, 7, 6. We have main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let me tell you a little bit about the STEM. My name's Lee Gia. My friends and I have done some amazing things on this show, like flying through hurricanes, or driving Teslas, or swimming with manatees, or even floating in zero gravity. We film these things and bring them here, to the world's next great science and space show. That's where the STEM comes in. We go on adventures as an excuse to learn something. The universe is a pretty big place. There's a lot to learn. A lot that's interesting to learn. Over the next year or so, we'll be riding in the centrifuge, farm in the heart of New York City, fly a spaceship, fly President Harry Truman's Air Force One, launch some rockets, catch some rockets,
Nice!
shoot video at the speed of light. Our world and universe are there, waiting to be explored. The question is, what are you waiting for?
Another week and a lot happening in pop culture.
Here's your week for the Pop Culture Rundown.
Mario Kart is hitting smartphones for the first time ever, and fans of the classic game are excited to finally play it.
Yeah, this app is called Mario Kart Tour, and it basically takes the same features from the older console version of the game and makes it convenient for longtime fans, such as myself, by bringing it to mobile devices.
As if the gameplay wasn't simple already, all you do is simply use one finger to operate the main functions of the game, and then just tap the screen when it's time to deploy the items you collect while on course.
But if you're losing, don't fret, because before you know it, you'll have that blue shell in your hand that will put your opponents in fear and will hopefully lead you to first place.
I think this is so exciting
I'm
to
so
finally be able
excited.
to play this game.
Yeah.
I was addicted to this Mario World stuff
too.
when I was young.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
god.
played this game a lot on my GameCube. I don't know if you remember that system.
Yes,
yeah,
I do.
That was the best. I would always pick Bowser, and you would always pick a character in the back, but I don't remember the character my second character. But Bowser was my main character.
Oh wow, I
Yeah.
loved Princess Peach.
Oh, she was fun too. She had some cool items.
She did. This week, Brooklyn rapper Young M.A. releases her new album called Her Story in the Making.
Yeah, this new release comes out today and features over 20 songs, which have been inspired by the loss of her older brother at the age of 17, as well as her journey to be accepted as a New York City lesbian rapper.
Young M.A. has accrued millions of fans through her streaming music history over 10 years, making it into the rap game without a record label.
But she's been the subject of criticism for her use of misogynistic lyrics. In the past, but argues her life of hardship and losses reflects the attitude she writes with. The album includes many tracks fighting with the status quo of homophobia within the rap world.
I think that Young M.A.'s interesting journey into the music world is commendable in a way because she does represent authentically who she is as a gangster rapper. However, she has been criticized for having misogynistic lyrics, as many gangster rappers do.
But still, I don't think she should be excused from using that type of language, misogynistic language, because if men can't use it, men rappers can't use it, then she shouldn't be able to use it either. And because she's overall still like perpetuating that vile environment in the rap industry.
I understand.
So,
I agree. I
yeah.
agree. Her music is written quite well, and she's still a very popular artist, but I do agree with you on that.
Yeah, they need to cut it out completely, in my opinion.
The debut of Mixed-ish, a spin-off TV show of Blackish, starring Tracee Ellis Ross, debuts this week. Ross's childhood story will be on display in this show as the mom of Blackish recounts her earlier days as part of a hippie commune in the 70s.
The comical show is another look at how black and white culture have blended together over the years, which aims to bridge the cultural gaps in our society. With all laughs aside, the debut of Mixed-ish is highly anticipated by Blackish fans, and many people are excited to see this new plotline.
I am so excited about Mixed-ish.
Yeah.
I love Blackish, I love Grownish, I love this whole series, and I think it's really funny. What do you think?
Anything with Tracee Ellis Ross, who I've been a fan of since she was in Girlfriends,
Right.
will be top-notch, top quality. Like, I can't wait for the show.
I'm
I can't
excited
wait
about that
to see
too.
it. Is it coming on Netflix? Or is it?
I believe it's already out on, it's definitely on streaming platforms. I think
Okay.
it came out on NBC, but I'm not sure
Sweet.
about
Yeah,
that.
I'll definitely tune in.
All right.
All right, guys, it's 2019, and it should not be shocking to hear the announcement that the company Mattel is releasing a set of gender-neutral dolls.
Mattel put out their new line called Creatable World, and it features 6 new dolls with a variety of skin colors, hair, and clothes.
According to NPR, the doll is fully gender-neutral and can be accessorized to be a boy, a girl, neither, or both.
The doll company hopes their new line will free children to express themselves and encourage people to be more open-minded about how all kids can benefit from playing with dolls.
All right, coming up on Next News, Catherine Cavallo gives us the latest and the greatest on sports.
And also, Chase Hartman brings us the weather as we head into a good weekend.
You are watching Next News on Spinnaker TV. All right, all this pop culture news is great and all, but it looks like there's some cool things happening in sports news.
Let's head over to Catherine Cavallo for your Spinnaker Sports Report.
Congratulations to the UNF men's golf team for winning their first team title of the season at the Graham McDowell Invitational earlier this week. The Invitational featured 19 teams, and all 5 of the Ospreys golfers placed individually within the top 25. UNF Volleyball's Rocio Murrow was named ASUN Freshman of the Week after she had a total of 75 digs across 4 matches last week. Murrow tied the 16-year UNF record for the most digs recorded in a 5-set match with 35 last Thursday. The team's next match is tonight in the Peach State against Kansas State at 7 p.m. Last night, the UNF women's soccer team shut out South Carolina State 4-0 at home in Hodges Stadium. Junior Thais Reese scored the Ospreys' first goal. Other goals were scored by Leah Furlan, Karina Bermudez, and Chanel Bubb. Here is Spinnaker reporter Zach Yearwood with what the coach had to say after the game.
All right, Coach, great win tonight. You guys had 8 offside penalties in the first half. How does that take away from your missed opportunities? What can you do to make it better?
It's timing. You know, sometimes it's the ball needs to be played a little bit early by the midfield, and sometimes the forward needs to hold the run. So it's something we just need to, do better at because, we had a lot of opportunities we could have gotten in and maybe finished it off a little bit quicker if our timing was a little bit better. So that's something we got to work on in training.
Out the weekend, the Jags are on the road as they face the 0-3 Broncos in Denver on Sunday. Kickoff is at 4:25 p.m. I'm Catherine Cavallo, and this has been your Spinnaker Sports Report. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Catherine.
Since we are rounding out the month of September, let's go to Chase Hartman with your Spinnaker weather update for the coming week.
Good morning, Ospreys. My name is Chase Hartman, and I'll be bringing you this week's Nest News weather forecast. Today will be a scorcher with a high reaching 92 and a low reaching 72. Tomorrow will bring the sunshine and clear skies with a high of 87 and a low of 74. The clouds will make a comeback on Sunday, bringing us partly cloudy skies with a high of 87 and a low of 75. Grab your umbrella for the beginning of the work week, though, as both Monday and Tuesday will deliver scattered thunderstorms with highs in the upper 80s and lows in the mid-70s. The rest of the week will bear more cloudy skies and thunderstorms, with highs in the high 80s and lows in the low 70s. A high pressure ridge to our northeast will cause winds to blow east this weekend. The increasing pressure early next week will produce a rising of wave heights and wind speeds. Offshore waters may issue cautionary headlines, so be careful if you're planning a beach trip. Finally, the path of Tropical Storm Karen is proving very difficult to predict. There is a possible scenario in which the storm makes a loop in the Atlantic Ocean and heads for the U.S., but it's simply too soon to determine. Thank you all for joining me for this week's Nest News weather forecast. I'm Chase Hartman, reporting for Spinnaker. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Chase.
Well, that just about wraps it up for our show today.
But before we leave, make sure to follow our Instagram and Twitter, both at UNF Spinnaker.
And subscribe to our newsletter at unfspinnaker.com.
Guys, I'm Chris Jennings.
And I'm Shafalika Bhatnagar.
And until next time, swoop, Ospreys, swoop.